Sup guys, Souls RNG. This game has blown up recently and averages over 100,000 players during the day. But some people hate this game because all you do in it is click a button and get a rarity. So I thought to myself, I can make that, and that's exactly what I'm gonna do. But to prove it's easy, I'm gonna be making it in 24 hours. Okay, but first we need an idea for the game. So my idea was that whenever you click the roll button that every RNG game has, a random event comes and you have to complete that event to get money. Okay, so the first thing I'm gonna do is actually make the button that you click to roll. Okay, and here's the button. It's pretty simple, but if you click it, you can actually see that there's this like cooldown effect, so then you'll know when you can click it again. Now to make this roll button actually work, we need a list of things that the player can roll. And to find some ideas, I went soul searching and read a book to try and figure out the best things to add to the game. Just kidding, I just asked my Discord, which you can join, the link's in the description. So then I came up with this list of events I wanted to add to the game.
It's nothing!
Yeah, so I didn't really have that many ideas. So anyway, I added this module into replicated storage that's just going to hold a list of events that the player can roll. And right now I just added a jump event so that the player will have to jump to get a reward. And then I added a few more events. Next, I made the actual logic for whenever you roll an event, and I did this by using this function that'll basically loop through all the events I have, and then depending on the rarity and the luck you have, it'll choose one of the events in the list. And if you didn't understand any of that, I pretty much just have a list of things and it just chooses one. Okay, so now if we test it out, it doesn't even. Haha, just kidding. Okay, this is first try. So now if we click it, it prints jump, but whenever you click the button, it just prints out what event it chose, and that's not very fun. So I'm gonna start coding some of the events. And then after using my master scripting skills, I made it so that whenever it tells you to jump and you jump, it prints true. And whenever you don't jump, it prints false. And that's it.
Wow!
And if we look at how this works, it pretty much just connects this function so that when the player jumps, it tells the script. And if they don't jump in the amount of time, then they fail. And then after a little bit more work, I added this text so then you know what event you're actually supposed to complete.
Bruh.
And I also made it say if you failed or completed the event. I've been at this challenge for about an hour and a half now, and I pretty much have the entire base of an RNG game done. And if I wanted to scale it, all I would have to do is make more things that you can get from clicking the roll button. And with my time remaining, that's pretty much all I did. I made the player eat a cheeseburger by literally just checking if they clicked. And then I added one where you had to touch the part, and one of the hardest ones for some of you guys, which is when you have to touch grass. And I made one where there was money around and you had to grab it. And this one might be the most difficult, talking to a girl. And if we look around the map, it's looking pretty empty. There's literally nothing here. It's just a base plate. So I'm going to work on the map. Just kidding. I'm going to add more events. Okay, so now we have a few events that you can get with each reward, time, and rarity. So they're all good. But something that's not in the game is the map. Like, it's still just a plain base plate. So I guess I have to work on the map now. And this is all I made till I got bored. So, we'll finish this later. And right now, it's getting kind of late, so I'm going to go to bed and finish this tomorrow. Okay, so after a good night's rest and a long day of school, I'm finally ready to finish this game. Anyways, I started testing out with 2 players, and what I realized is that the other player can't really see what the other person is doing, and they're just kind of walking around, and it kind of looks weird. And this is because everything's running on the client because I thought it would be better if it was, but I think it would be cooler if you could see what other people are doing. So I started moving the code over to a server script so that it would run on the server, and then everyone would be able to see what someone's doing. But this would kind of get confusing and get in the way of things. So if something spawned from an event from someone else, then I would just make it transparent on everyone else's screens. Okay, so the main point of this game is to roll an event and then get money for doing that event. But there's nothing to use the money for, so it's pretty much useless. Kind of like oh my god. But anyway, I came up with a solution. There would be a shop where you can sabotage other people and have different things done to them, like kill them or kick them from the game or something if you have enough money. So I started to make the shop and I actually got pretty far. My plan was so that you could select a sabotage and then select a player, and then that sabotage would happen to that player. But I looked at the time and I definitely do not have enough time for this. Yeah, finals may have taken up a lot of this time. But I decided I'd add a shop with trails in it so you can still show off. So I took the sabotage shop that I already made and modified it a little bit so that it would have a bunch of different colors. And then I coded the buy, equip, and unequip functions for it. And then I just had to make sure that when your character spawned in, you had the right trail. But whenever I was testing this out, whenever I would die, it wouldn't equip for some reason. And whenever I spawned in, the trail would just be white. But I eventually got it working. And then I noticed while I was testing, if you spam the button, sometimes it just fails you right away and then you don't get any money. And to fix this, I just added a little bit longer delay after you roll. And while you were playing, there wasn't any sounds. So to spice it up a little bit, I added some sound effects.
Money, 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 money.
And also, there was no data saving, so if you left the game, you'd lose all your progress. And no one likes that. So in this function, I loop through all the player's descendants, which is pretty much anything inside of the player. And then by checking if something inside the player is a stat, like the money, then I can save that to the data store. And then when the player loads in again, I can use this other function called load data, which will loop through all the player's data that we previously saved. Okay, so the game is almost done now, and with the time remaining, I want to make an icon for the game. So first I posed this character so I could use it for the icon, and then I made this face for the guy to make it look like he was scared, and then I removed the background to act like the world was ending, and then I created the title at the bottom of the icon. And I actually think it turned out pretty well. And then I quickly made the thumbnail for the game, and then filled out the game page, and it was finally ready to release. And that's how easy it is to make an RNG game. Even someone like me can make it. And that's saying something. Anyways, if you want to try this game out for yourself, the link will be in the description. It doesn't take that long to complete it though, because I only made it in 24 hours, so I couldn't really add that much to the game. But my final conclusion for an RNG game, and if it's easy, is yes, it is easy.